water would seep and run down into the back seat area. Sadly, this car has suffered the same fate. So if you guys can see, there is no more back seat in this car. There was water all in here, probably up to probably right here. The headliner was falling down, sagging. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. And in today's video, we're gonna be talking about my 2009 Audi B8, if you want to call it that, Avant wagon. If you guys do remember, I previously, before I owned this car, I had a 2001 BMW 330 Ci convertible. I didn't like it that much, but that wasn't its big issue. The biggest issue with that car actually stemmed from the fact that the drain holes on where the top comes down, like if you were to put the convertible top down and hide it in the car, the big problem with that thing was the drain holes back there were clogged, and they also ran separate hoses, probably because they were clogged. It didn't work, and the water would seep and run down into the back seat area, and then pretty much it would just collect there, rise up, and then that's how the amp got fried. If you guys remember that, I think I covered that in a video when I had the car, but the amp got fried, the back seat was moldy, it was rusty under the back seat, all because of that. Now, sadly, this car has suffered roughly the same fate. It's not a convertible, but what it does have is a massive moonroof, which is pretty much over half the overall length of the top right here. Yeah, let me just show you guys real quick what happened. So if you guys can see, there is no more back seat in this car. It's at the shop right now. Yesterday I probably should have filmed it, but I don't know, I just got into the motions of doing it and didn't end up filming it. But the back seat's out. This was disgusting. There was water all in here, probably up to probably right here, height wise. Obviously it's like a bucket to hold the water. You see a little bit of rust right there. Over there you can see there's visual rust. It's not anything bad or nothing, but is definitely has some rust on it. Imagine the back seat sitting about, you know, right here, and you pan up, you'll see that there's no headliner in here, for one, and two, you'll also see these little lines up here. These lines are what actually drain the moonroof. The water collects in these 4 channels, is one on each side of it, and since the glass is bowed like this, water will rush to any of the 4 ends. So if we hop up here in the front of the car right here, you can also see here's the moonroof, and obviously right here is the line that runs down into the A-pillar. Same thing on this side, just loops right down into the A-pillar back there, and also on this side right here. I mean, this is a common issue for anything that really has a moonroof in it, but I mean, it kind of sucks because the only way to do this, especially because if you consider how far up this is in relation to the headliner begins here and right here. So it's in here pretty far. You'd have to damn near break it, the headliner, to get it far enough to clear. So I just took the entire headliner out, because if you guys did see, when I did upload the reveal video for this car, I went into a big in-depth reveal. Click up here if you guys want to see that video. But a big issue I had with the car, not only was it, you know, I think it's a dad who owned it before me, he had kids, so, you know, there's markings on some of the door cards and some of the panels in the way back. If you can see that one back there, it's got marks on it. But apart from that, another big issue was the headliner right behind where this moonroof ends was sagging majorly back there. So I already was like, okay, I want to rip this headliner out. It has to get redone. I mean, this is a big headliner. It literally goes, it's the entire length of the car. Another reason on why I pulled it out, not only because it was falling down, the headliner was falling down, sagging, it looked like shit. I didn't want it to look like that. This is a pretty clean, nice car. I want to keep it that way. But on each of these 4 corners, majorly in the back, it was leaking water. I would, if it was raining decently, I would hear in the back right there, because since it's right there, I'd hear drip, drip, and I'd hear it splat onto the seat constantly. Every time it rained, it did that. So what I did to fix it was I put some gasket maker, kind of, it's just like a gasket maker. I put it around the line, and as I rolled it this way, so I rolled it into the gap from this little rubber grommet into the hose right here. So you have the plastic nipple that comes out of the headliner channel. You have this mini grommet right here that links these two together. Then you have this rubber line that runs all the way down. Now, a big issue with how they designed this rubber line and this grommet, so the line comes in and then the grommet goes over the line. So if you think of how water travels, it comes in here. This is okay right here because it's not inside of it. If it was inside of it, it could potentially sneak out the bottom of it. But this one does have the issue. Since the grommet is bigger and the line is smaller, it can find its way in between the crack in the bottom, and obviously water is going to find the easiest way out. Instead of going all the way down this tube, it's just going to drop right here, right at the seam of where these two meet. So like I said, I just used some gasket maker. We're gonna see if it holds up before I even think about putting the headliner back in. I still have to order the material for it. I'll do a video on that. We'll do a whole video of me actually laying the material over, because I think it's gonna look pretty damn sick. But if you're buying an older, I guess this would go for any car with a sunroof, and especially a moonroof since it's bigger, and convertible. If you're buying any of these cars, make sure they don't leak. Look for water spots on the floors, signs of water infiltration, especially in the corners where the A pillars come up and meet the headliner, because that's usually where they all run their lines. They run them down there. They might potentially run them down the B pillar. If it was a sunroof and it only came to like, well, right there pretty much, they might run it down there too. Keep an eye on that, because if not, if you're like, oh, it probably leaked a while back and it's okay now, chances are you have to drop the whole headliner and redo those lines. Either redo them, reseal them, whatever you gotta do to get this thing to not leak. The fact that I had to go through this whole process, because there was a bunch of electronics up here, obviously. They're all just hanging now. All these electronics for the moonroof control, the dome lights. So I had to unwire all those. The dome light that rests about like right there, had to unwire that, pull the connectors out of that. It's not a pain in the ass process, but it does suck. When you're taking this out, this centerpiece right here, if it's like mine, you have, instead of the two separate dome lights, little bulbs, and you have the big rectangular one, there will be a screw right, screw goes right here, one screw for it. Trust me, undo that screw, it'd be for like the sunglasses holder. Flop that down, undo that screw, whole thing drops out. On different styles, you have to pry out the little lens for the dome light, and there will be a screw in there. A-pillars are pretty damn easy, I'll give it that. You take out the airbag right here, you take out the little airbag, little emblem, badge, whatever, fold this piece back, and in there will be a Torx. I think it's a T45, I believe. It's not too difficult, and you literally just pop this down. These have one clip in the back of them. Pop that clip out, the whole thing will slide out, and it's held in with sliders up there. So you pop the bottom of it out and slide the whole thing down. That goes for both of those. Those I didn't remove yet, so I'm not 100% sure. It was probably a very similar process. And those in the very back use a one screw in the side and just clips along the perimeter by the window. If you also had any leakage issues, I highly recommend just take out your back seat. Just take it out when you're doing this. Pop it out. It really isn't that bad. There's two clips on both sides there, and the other side, they're in the center of where the bottom bolster's at. Pop them out, take the whole seat out. And you also have to take out the child safety clips that are on the bottom part of that back seat. Push the bottom of them in and pull the top of them out. That's my only issue with this car so far. I really like the car, guys. More content coming over this car for sure, especially once the Trans Am gets done. If you guys are interested in that, click up above. It's in primer right now. There's been a little bit of a delay because we had a really nice car in the shop and I couldn't sand and make it a dust, so bear with me here. But we are getting back to it well, now pretty much, because that car is now gone. So stay tuned for more videos coming over that car, over the Audi, over the four-wheeler. Monte Carlo's coming out damn near soon here, bud. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more videos coming over the channel, and I'll see all you guys in the next one.